Hello, hello. We are back. Sorry for the less frequent streaming recently, but I started a new job. Been a little bit on the busy side. You know how it goes, but we're in here. That's right. That's right, Joey. We are still in this bitch. They tried to shut us down about an hour ago, but we still in this bitch. We still in this. 100 pounds in the gear, put one foot up in the air. One time for like me with a squad like this. Dude, I remember that song. Arturo, we are back, dude. Shama. What's up, gang? What's up, gang? Do me a favor, like the stream. Participate in the chat. Makes it more fun for all of us. Type shit. But yeah, guys, it looks like Ilia, at least, is convinced that Ilya's convinced he's fighting Islam in the next fight. So we'll see. We'll see. I could see Islam moving up and vacating, though. As I say, hey, nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change what you done to me. Type shit. But I don't know, guys. I thought Ilia did really good on Rogan. I thought that was one of the better MMA episodes. We got a lot of MMA-related information. We got to hear about how he got into the sport, this, that, the other. I was fucking with it. Type shit. Who would you rather see Ilia fight, though, in his next fight? Would you rather it be Paddy, Islam, or Conor? Here, let me throw a fucking poll in there for you. Who should Topuria fight next? Islam, Paddy, Conor. There we go. We'll see what the gang's thinking. But dude, I've been grinding on this new job. It's busy, and it's busy, and it's a little stressful, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so somebody commented on my fights to make after UFC 314 and said the fights to book are Saruki and Hooker. Probably not going to happen. Gaethje Poirier 3, possible, but probably not. Holloway versus Oliveira 2 for the BMF. Maybe. Moicano versus Nasrat Haqparast. Fuck. Absolutely not, dude. Moicano does not go from Makhachev to fucking Nasrat Haqparast. Hell no. Covington versus Chandler at 170. Don't mind that. Arnold Allen versus Lerone Murphy. Could make some sense. Ortega versus Zalal, absolutely not. Bryce Mitchell versus Kevin Vallejos, absolutely not. Rakic versus Reyes, no. Emmett versus Silva, no. Ige versus Emil Hyder, no. Pitbull versus Pico, maybe. Topuria versus Pimblett for the vacant title, oof. I'm not agreeing with those. I am not agreeing with those. Holy moly. Holy shit. Sometimes I see people's opinions on the sport, and I go, God damn, that's how you guys view this? You think Bryce Mitchell's going to fight some unknown guy that's unranked? Bryce Mitchell's a fucking commodity now, bro. He's a big name. Not necessarily for the best reasons, but still, we're not going to get Bryce Mitchell against anybody that's totally unheard of or unranked completely. I think Bryce Mitchell still gets a ranked matchup. Paddy for beef, Islam because obviously he's champ, and Conor because Conor. Yeah, honestly, I'm chill with any of the three. And here's the thing, dude. Conor, Paddy, obviously pay-per-view main event with no title on the line. But I even think Ilia Paddy is a pay-per-view without a title on the line. I think they could headline a card. 11 p.m. What's going on there? Hold up. But we still in this bitch. We still in this bitch. They tried to shut us down. John Don, what's going on? Thai Nation, Conor is done. Bro hasn't won a fight in 5 years. It's been longer than that, actually. Oh, no, it was 2020. You're right. No, but they're still talking about it. Like, Ilia said that they had talks with the UFC about Ilia versus Conor, which kind of makes me think that the UFC is not sold on Conor's retirement yet. If they're still having conversations with people about Conor as an opponent, I think there's still a shot, boys. I think there's still a shot, especially with this new streaming deal upcoming. We could get some really interesting stuff. Get you a girl who watches UFC and WWE with you and admires you while dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. The girl that I'm seeing watches UFC with me when she can, because she works Saturdays, so she's not at every one, but yeah. Also, sometimes they're not worth watching. Like having a girl I'm seeing sit there for 7 hours to watch an Apex card. I mean, I have to put in that grind regardless most of the time because of my channel, but you know, I'm not going to subject everybody to that type of torture. But I agree with you, dude. Hey, we got 7 people in the chat. Can I please get some likes on the stream? AKA date a fatty with low self-esteem. No, that's not true, bro. Fat 6 out of 10. Jesus Christ. If you're ego boosting, like not ego boosting, but if you're like confidence boosting, like that's like you in training camp, go for it. Bro's also barely fought the last 5 years, but not winning. Yeah, they make people kind of make it sound like Conor's been fighting and just losing over and over. Like let's not forget he's fought like 3 times in 5 years, so he's had 3 straight losses. That's only one more than Volk. Volk had 2 knockout losses. Hear me out. Conor above Volk on the GOAT list, and Conor featherweight GOAT despite 0 title defenses. Oh, look at that. We got some likes on the stream. Appreciate you, big dogs. Big dogs. Guys, also answer the poll. I want to know what you guys want to see next for Ilia. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Makhachev, and if Makhachev moves up, then it's going to be versus Oliveira, I think, for the vacant belt. Type shit. Dude, I forgot Yair Rodriguez and Gene Silva both want title shots. Oh, Gene Silva wants a title shot at 145? Yapping, bro. Not even 3 straight L's. He lost to Dustin, then broke his ankle. So 2. Yeah, I guess so. Doctor stoppage. Are you picking Hamza or DDP? I'm going to be honest. DDP. I think DDP is going to win that fight. I think DDP, as long as he doesn't get finished in the first 7 minutes type of thing. Because it's not a question of who wins. It's not a question of does Hamzat beat DDP or does DDP beat Hamzat. It's actually a matter of does Hamzat finish DDP in the first 2 rounds? Because if the answer to that question is no, then DDP is going to win the fight regardless. He's got 5 rounds of cardio. He's a fucking bulldozer. He's got he's got the durability. Yeah, if Hamzat doesn't get like a finish in the first 7 minutes, I think he's cooked. Because if you look back at his fight that went the distance with Kamaru Usman and also the Gilbert Burns fight, he fades as the fight goes on. Now imagine him 5 rounds with bulldozer DDP. I think Hamzat has a tough time with that, just being honest. But at the same time, he did finish Robert Whittaker in 1.5 minutes. So if he just shoots a crazy double leg and takes the back, if his strength and his top control is really that crazy, then he could finish DDP. But honestly, I would pick DDP by decision or 4th round stoppage. if you had to corner a fighter who's fighting Gene Silva, what's the game plan? Don't engage on the feet into exchanges. Like Bryce Mitchell was getting into like literal exchanges for one. And I'd say like nonstop takedowns. Because he has finishes, like he had that ninja choke from the feet. But honestly, I mean, like, he has great takedown defense. He's a killer on the feet. The only thing we haven't seen really is like his jiu-jitsu. And so it's a matter of somebody getting him there. It just depends on who the fighter is too. Like, let me look at the ranking. Let me look at the rankings. Like, because that's partially how it would depend, like who my fighter is that I was cornering. That would also dictate how I would do that. So let's see. Calvin Kattar would get smoked by him. Dan Ige, very durable, could maybe make it to a decision. Yusuf Salal and Giga Chikadze get smoked. Maybe Josh Emmett could fucking bomb him with an overhand, you know? But if I was Aljamain Sterling probably gets cooked by Gene Silva. Damn. Just depends if he can get the takedown. Lerone Murphy, very skillful. As long as he just avoids the big shots, I think he'd be fine. Brian Ortega, I think would get absolutely smoked by Gene Silva. I think the only people that have real, like, could give Gene Silva issues is Josh Emmett. Yeah, I think Aljo could hump it out for sure, but Josh Emmett for sure, if he was to like just land a bomb, like he's got that power. Lerone Murphy, possibly. Lerone Murphy's got crazy skill. It just depends on how much he could stay out of danger and how durable he is. Ortega would get fucking smoked by him, no question. Gene Silva would smoke Brian Ortega. Arnold Allen would be some crazy exchanges. I could see Arnold Allen getting the better of those, but we'll see. Movsar finds a way to fucking boring decision his way to win. So that's a possibility. Who else? Yair, distance and range, as long as he stays out of the pocket with him. Yair could beat him. Ilia's not in the weight class anymore, but for some reason they dropped him down to number 3. That's interesting. They should just take him out of the rankings. And they should also take Max Holloway out of the rankings. But Diego Lopez in a firefight could beat him. Holloway probably could. Topuria could. And I think Gene Silva's a top 5 guy. Now that I'm looking at the rankings, I know he's ranked 11th, but I think he's a top 5 guy. Khabib is scared that Ilia will beat Islam. That's why he's ducking him. I don't know. You're probably right, because it is a big risk, and it's also not this big like legacy building thing. In his eyes, for some reason, they use this fucking featherweight champ defense. Like, hear me out. If you have 3 wins, if you're Islam, if you have 3 wins over basically probably the 2 best featherweights ever in Ilia and Volk. Also, you know, there's Max Holloway, who you could possibly beat anyway because he's moving up to 55. Having 3 wins over champs, like the Volk and potential Topuria wins are more impressive to me than the Moicano win, you know? I know the Moicano one was special circumstances because it was on like a day's notice, but still, like I would definitely put more stock in Topuria and Volk, regardless of them coming from the smaller weight class up. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Fuck the daggies. There will never be peace here. Yeah, true. Never. It's funny because I strongly dislike Khabib, but I don't like. I actually kind of like Islam. I think Islam's pretty entertaining because he has a better fight style, to be honest. Fuck, dude. Who's calling my phone? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling my phone? Who's calling that shit? Is it Stacy? Is it Keisha? Is it Party? Where's the function? Where's the party? Where the fuck the function? Let's see. Dude, remember when Chandler said he was coming for Khabib? That's crazy. Oh, damn, dude, look at what Ilia tweeted, too. He said, Khabib knows I'm the one to take the belt from Islam. Only reason he doesn't want Islam to fight me. Based, dude. Armin. Here's some good actual logic, too. Armin equals UFC says no because he pulled out. Gaethje beat number 11 on 11 days' notice and got flatlined by the guy Ilia flatlined. True. Charles, maybe, but we want to see a fresh matchup. Ilia, number 3 pound for pound, undefeated, KO'd the 2 best 45ers ever. That's what I'm saying, dude. That makes sense. Also, I'm stealing that picture of Joe Rogan for thumbnails. Does Fluffy have a better chance of beating Hamzat or DDP? Given that Hamzat has... Ooh, hear me out, dude. If he could survive the first few minutes, Hamzat. Not even joking. Literally not joking at all. Because DDP is a bulldozer and he's pretty dangerous, whereas Hamzat's dangerous for like 6 minutes. At least from what we've seen. Maybe it's changed, but maybe, I don't know. To me, Hamzat's dangerous for like 6 minutes, and then he fades, and somebody like Fluffy, who's got like Marab type cardio and like failed takedown attempts at middleweight, could be a tough fight for Islam as long as he can get through the first few minutes. Is it Stacy? What the fuck the function? What the fuck the function? I will announce the UFC 317 main event on Tuesday, and now it's Wednesday. Today's Thursday now. Thoughts on the Red Hot Chili Peppers? One of my parents' favorite bands. I like them a lot. It's one of the few artists that's not from my like generation that I actually have in my playlist. Type shit. Holy shit, it's already 5 o'clock, dude. Damn. I'm a big fan of them. Yeah, they're also like kind of from the same general area as me. They went to Fairfax High School. I'm from the LA area. Yeah, that's that type shit. Shouting on a burn when she broke the panorama. She never knew that there was anything more than fun. Just another way to survive. Is it Stacy? Is it Ashley? Where's the function? Where's the party? Where the fuck the function? What the fuck the function? Is it Stacy? Tool is your favorite band? I don't even think I know them, bro. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. My favorite artist for the last my favorite artists ever is Migos, because I found them when they had 5,000 followers on IG when they dropped their Jug Season mixtape. So I found Migos super early on, and people used to say that they were trash when I liked them, and then they blew up. That's one of my biggest I told you so's was in my friend group. Me announcing, or not announcing, but saying Migos was gonna blow up 6, 7, 8 years before they did. Even before Versace, actually. And then also up there, Future, Shoreline Mafia, and Larry June. Larry June is the last 5 years I've been really into him. He's been in my top 5 listen for 5 years. Now, Larry, hey, if you want some If you want some smooth shit, that's like new generation, like if you want like newer generation rapper that's not like Playboy Cardi sounding, listen to Larry June, dude. Larry June is for dude. Larry June's music is for dudes that get bitches. If you listen to Larry June, it's almost guaranteed that you lose 10 pounds, up your credit score, and get hella bad bitches. You know what I'm saying? Is it Stacy? Don't check me, bitch. Check your credit score. I really like the guitar of Red Hot Chili Pepper songs. Me too, dude. Me too. Could DDP time a knee against Hamzat if he shoots a double leg? Yes, but knowing DDP, okay, so obviously yes, he could. But knowing DDP, he would probably like find some way to like totally tard out and like jump over Hamzat's takedown attempt, like do like a front roll somersault like into the air and jump over Hamzat, and then come back and like do like an overhand that lands on Hamzat's butt, and then punch Hamzat in the quad, and then he hits an uppercut that KOs him. That's more likely considering DDP's fight style. You know what I'm saying? Dang, I need to stream more often. This is fun. My new job has had me busy, and I've been like, fuck, I'm tired, and I still need to make videos. So like I'm going to get the videos done, but I can't like push too hard on the streaming. But now I'm like, fuck, I'm streaming and I'm having fun. Is it Stacy? Is it Keisha? Where the fuck the function? Let's see what MMA Twitter's got for us type shit. Let's see. Is it Stacy? What the fuck the function? What the fuck the function? Is it Stacy? What the fuck the function? KSI tweeting about fighting again. Oh my God, I hate this shit, bro. What the fuck the function? What the fuck the function? I'm honestly, okay, here, let me like think about what's going to be. Let me pull up my whiteboard real quick. One sec. Let me get my whiteboard. I don't know if you guys fuck with my whiteboards that I use in my videos sometimes, but I fuck with them. You know? Oh shit, there's like so much going on here. Hold on, let me clear it. Okay. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me share my screen though. There we go. Okay, middle of the screen. All right. So here's what I'm thinking for UFC. Whoa, why is it so small? Hold on. UFC. Jesus Christ. Tiny, 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 tiny. What's going on? All right. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I think we're going to get. DDP versus Hamzat as the main event. At this point, it's very unlikely that that Makhachev and DDP is going to be on that card. Or Makhachev and Topuria. All right? So from there, big co-main. It's 2 months and 11 days away. So that's 10 weeks. So it's going to be one of either these two. It's going to be Charles Oliveira versus either Max Holloway in a BMF title fight or Topuria. But I'm kind of thinking that Topuria is getting a title shot, and it's not going to happen in June. So I think we're going to get this. I think this is the top of our card right now. And keep in mind, we already have some stuff booked. Hold on. Let me peep and see what's booked already. Actually, I can keep this open and search it over here. UFC 317 Sherdog. All right. So as of right now, we also have, okay, that's cap. There's more fights confirmed than that. Hold on. Tapology. 317. Okay. So Paulo Costa, Roman Kopylov. There you go. That's going to be on the card. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. And that doesn't even say rumored. Yeah, that doesn't even say rumored. That says confirmed on Tapology. So that means they must have contracts signed. And then you also have Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape. And then they're talking about him versus Mauricio Hufi, but what you're actually going to get is Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. You're not going to get Beneil versus Hufi. So I'm thinking that we're going to get, let me check real quick. I'm thinking that for 317, it's going to be something along the lines of like Dariush Moicano, Kopylov like this, and then prelim, like featured prelim Royval and Manel Kape, and then like somebody ranked against Mauricio Hufi. Mauricio Hufi versus, if it's not Manel Kape, who is it? Let me look at the UFC rankings real quick. All right. At 155. Okay, let's see. Joel Alvarez BSD is booked. Fiziev doesn't have an opponent, but he's rumored to be fighting Ignacio Bahamondes in Azerbaijan. Now let's see. Mauricio Hufi, he's either got to fight. I think he's going to fight. They're going to give him a good matchup. Grant Dawson doesn't seem to be that guy. I think they're going to. Oh, shit. Hear me out. This seems bad. This seems like we're doing this guy dirty. But hear me out. Is that doing Dan Hooker too dirty? Is that too low of a matchup for Dan Hooker? What are we thinking? Because this kind of seems like a chill card. But you also got to consider. We have the possibility of a Caio Borralho fight versus, let's say, Fluffy Hernandez, because he called him out. That would inevitably probably drop Costa Kopylov to the prelims. And it would look something like maybe it would look something like this. How do you guys feel about that? DDP Hamzat, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway for the BMF. Mauricio Hufi versus Dan Hooker. Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. Prelims. What are we thinking? Yes, no, maybe so? I think it's kind of a sick card, not going to lie. I think that shit's pretty tight. But some other things to consider. Let's see. Let me look at the rankings. Let's see. Borralho could maybe fight. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you know what? I think that's the one that makes sense. Or, no, he already fought Jared Cannonier. And he's not going to get Imavov because he turned it down. He's not going to get Strickland. He's not going to get Hamzat. I super highly doubt he gets Israel Adesanya. Dude, Caio Borralho is going to fight either Roman Dolidze or Caio Borralho is going to fight Roman Dolidze or Fluffy Hernandez, which stinks because he's been kind of surging through the rankings, and that's a step back. But Like if you consider the UFC rankings, let me pull it over onto this one. If you consider the UFC rankings at that weight class, like we have Imavov said no, Strickland not going to fight Kyle Bahalio. Hamzat's getting a title shot. Izzy, I would assume he's probably going to fight Strickland. They're doing a fight night in Australia in August or something like that, or September. I could see it, that Adesanya Strickland rematch being the main event of a fight night. But it also kind of seems like Izzy and Strickland are both like numbered card pay-per-view type of guys. But below that, you have like Dolidze, Hernandez. They're coming off wins. He already beat Cannonier. Not Vettori. Definitely not Brendan Allen. You can't give Paulo Costa that big of a jump up in the rankings. Renner de Ritter's fighting Bo Nickel. Roman Kopolov's fighting Paulo Costa. So the only unbooked out of all those people, the only person that literally the only options for Kyle Bahalio are Dolidze, Hernandez, and like Michel Pereira. Huh. Anyways. And then let's take a look because we got Iowa coming up soon as well. UFC Iowa. Sandhagen, Figueiredo. Let's see. So Iowa, not Ohio, is getting Corey Sandhagen, Davison Figueiredo, Renner de Ritter, Bo Nickel. This one's like 2 weeks away, right? May 3rd, 3 weeks away? Yeah. 2 weeks away. Yeah, 2 weeks from Saturday. Corey Sandhagen, Figueiredo. Winner of this very well could get the winner of Sean and Umar at 316, and or the winner of Peter Yan and Umar, because I think that's a fight they're going to make. Renner de Ritter, Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel as a 250 favorite. We'll see. Renner de Ritter's a nasty grappler. Ponzinibbio and D-Rod. Cool fight. Junior Tafa moving down to 205 against a scrub. Maybe he'll win, but the Tafa brothers kind of stink. So, and then we got Montel Jackson, Daniel Marcos, Yana Santos, Misha Tate. Misha Tate's she's former champion and she fought Ronda Rousey. That's kind of a big name to have on the prelims of a fight night in Iowa. And then this Serhi Side guy, nasty. Jeremy Stevens on the fucking prelims? No way. They signed Jeremy Stevens to a one-fight contract for the prelims of a fight night? That's crazy. Thomas Peterson, bum. And Dontel Mays, super bum. And then Bolaños, Marina Rodriguez, Gillian Robertson. That's super low on the card for that type of matchup ranking-wise. Anyways. Where are these other viewers? X. Interesting. But let me look at these tickets for the fight night in Iowa. Because once again, this is one of those things where like you could go to an LA pay-per-view 10 minutes from my house and pay $1,000 for one ticket. Or you could go on a trip to somewhere like Des Moines, Iowa. And let's see, like $4,000 for 4 seats. It's about the same pricing as Seattle. Yeah. It's about the same pricing as Seattle. $150 to $200 for those kind of seats. And then like the floor obviously is like multiple thousands, but dang, dude. UFC is kind of like a rich man's club to go to now, or at least to get good seats. Dustin versus Paddy. I don't think so, bro. I don't think they're going to do that. And I also don't think that interests Dustin Poirier very much, to be honest. I don't think it interests Dustin much at all. Dustin kind of made a joke about it. Let me find it. Dustin made a joke about fighting Paddy. All right, let me see. Where was this shit? Dustin Poirier. Paddy Pimblett. Let me see. Here, is it? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this was where Dustin was saying legends only, not Paddy Pimblett. So I really doubt it, especially for his retirement fight, you know?
A final fight. I think the retirement match is what we're calling it. Likely here in New Orleans, likely hopefully this year. Where are we at so far with that?
Me and the UFC been working on this, and I was worried when I first came to them with the idea that I want to retire at home in Louisiana, that they would be against it, but surprisingly they were down for it to push forward and try to make it happen for me. And I think we're close. I think this summer we could have a fight here in New Orleans.
And who would it be against? There's a lot of talk that it might be Paddy Pimblett or somebody. Who's it going to be?
It's 100% not Paddy Pimblett.
Okay.
Legends only. I'm not going to retire fighting a Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, so that won't happen. But it also could just kind of be like jonesing to be like, yeah, like creating hype because then they book it. But I really doubt it. I think it's going to be Holloway Poirier 3. Maybe Gaethje Poirier 3. But it's going to be something we've seen before. Maybe even Dan Hooker rematch. But it's going to be, you know, a big fight. It's going to be a big fight against an established guy. Even though the UFC loves to pass the torch for some reason, I don't think they do it with Dustin Poirier. I think they let him go. He stepped up on short notice quite a few times, you know? Short notice and, you know, gave Islam Makhachev a crazy hard fight. Feed Dustin some random. Now, you can't really feed him a random, but you can, like, I don't know. It really depends, man. It's like, okay, when he says legends only, does that include like fucking Jim Miller? Some shit like that. But let me see. Lightweight. It's going to be Gaethje, Holloway, or Hooker. That's like kind of it. I swear that's like the only options. And Conor's not going to come back to fight him. That book's closed, I think. Nah, do it. He does good against randoms. Conor 4, not going to happen in New Orleans, but like I like the idea, you know? Yeah, no, it's going to be Gaethje, Holloway, or Hooker. Because Oliveira's lined up for a title shot or a number one contenders fight. What else? Who else? Not Beneil Dariush. I mean, fucking maybe Chandler, but I feel like Dustin would be like, no, he just got I feel like Dustin would just be like, no, he just got dusted by Chandler, or Chandler just got dusted by Pimblett. Why would if I'm not gonna fight Paddy, why would I fight the guy that just dusted him? Conor 4 would be sick, but Conor's never coming back. Wah, wah. Dang, okay, so the poll is very heavily in favor of Topuria versus Islam, and no support for Conor, dude. Literally no support for Conor. 0% on Conor. 80% on Islam, or 79% on Islam, 21% on Paddy. Damn. Dude, I feel like Ilia can smoke almost everybody, you know? What, that fuck him up. The no skill era. There's somebody on Twitter arguing that fucking in a different like in a different generation that Dan Ige would be champ. Come on now. Who the hell's ringing the doorbell, bro? Hey, guys, shout out to you. The new video is doing really good. I got a 1 out of 10 on that. Fire. Dan Ige, motherfucker. Did you see that they ended up in the sauna together at the PI? Daige. Daige, motherfucker. Motherfucker. They ain't on the type of shit be on. That I be on. Whoa, they're going to add Kevin Holland and Vicente Luque to the O'Malley Merab card. Merab and O'Malley in the hot tub gay. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. A little bit, yeah. It's like, I get like not being super mad at each other. Like, because it's just like a sport in some ways, but also at the same time, like, we are trying to sell a conflict. Like, a fight is a conflict, you know? So it's like, it's kind of annoying to me when I see guys go, oh yeah, we're about to fight, but we're mad chill. I like this guy. Like, to me, I want like a little bit of conflict, you know? I want a little bit of issue. I want a little bit of issue. I don't want them to be like, I love you. You're the best. You know? We're getting a Jake Paul announcement tomorrow. Fuck. Yep, Jake Paul fight announcement. Watch, it's gonna be Tyrone Woodley 3. Excuse me. I said, hey, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change what you done to. Merab will 2-0 O'Malley. I hear you, dude, but I have a feeling O'Malley could land that right hand and put Merab down. You're looking sharp today. Thanks, dude. I don't wear the glasses anymore. Or at least most of the time I don't. Most of the time I do not. Type shit. Tyson Fury back training. Wants to fight Anthony Joshua. Oh my God. Tyson Fury with these fucking retirements, dude. Brother, don't you belong to Merab? Fuck no, I don't. Merab stinks, bro. Fuck that. He's not even a champ. He doesn't even have a real belt. What kind of champ calls himself a champ when he's got a fake belt? Merab doesn't fight. To be honest, I think Diego crying so much after a loss is a bad look. Nah, dude, like it's not even like that. Like, some people are like, oh, what a pussy, he cried and shit like that. It just meant a lot to him, you know? Sometimes you come up short, and that type of feeling that he had after the fight where he's crying and all that stuff, that feeling right there could be all the motivation that he needs to train harder, get better, become a world champion, because he doesn't want to feel like that again. It just shows how much of a competitor you are, you know? That you really care about it. Like, some people handle them graciously in public, but when you have a big loss like that, whether it's on camera or not, you have a meltdown to some degree, you know? Like, considering how much you sacrifice to get yourself ready for a world title fight. Not only all the years of like injuries and hard training and weight cutting, but that led up to that moment, but also you remember that camp specifically, like how hard you worked and that you came up short and stuff. So I don't mind it. I know some people think it's like, oh, he's not a real competitor, or he's, you know, he's weak between the ears and stuff like that, but I don't mind it. Tyson, the GOAT, heavyweight of this gen, love or hate him. Yeah, agreed. Marab does look like he stinks, though. Yeah, no. I meant Marab stinks like he's not good at fighting, but Marab does also look like he smells bad, yes. So here's that Gene Silva story. For those that don't know, his brother was killed. He saw his mom being graped by 3 guys and couldn't do anything. His mom later on killed those 3 guys and went to jail. So you might understand why this man is crying all the time. What makes me happy for him is that even though he passed through all of this, he still finds strengths to be thankful to Jesus every single day. Another thing, not long before he became a professional, he left his house and was about to kill himself, but was saved by his friend and also UFC fighter Mauricio Hufi, who invited him to eat and play video games at his house. And made a very happy day for Gene. He was also talking about Jesus. Gene says that after all the playing and eating, he was finally happy with something. Dang, that's a crazy story, dude. I remember someone said they sparred with Joaquin Buckley and his BO smelled horrible. Yeah, because some dudes spar and like, go through like hard training sessions and don't shower. Like there's been times at my gym where somebody's been like, yo, bro, you want to roll? And they step like within like 3 feet of me. And I've been like, hey, bro, honestly, like no hate, but no. Or I'll say yes. And then I smell them and I'm like, bro, like I don't mean to be a dick, but you got to clean up your hygiene in the gym. Oh, dude, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to drop it. But this Ian Gary Prates beef is kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. Type shit. How would you guys book the UFC lightweight division? I kind of already explained what I would do. Armin Islam. Dude, are people still calling for that? Do you guys care to see Islam Armin, or have we moved past that for now? Because I see so many people on Twitter and shit like that are still calling for Armin and Islam. And I feel like it's pretty clear that Islam is not interested in that. And of all the possible fights, I think he's way more interested in like non-rematches, like a Gaethje, you know? Da, 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 da. Dude, I'm hungry as fuck. And I still have to go coach somebody at 7. God damn. I'm hungry and tired, but I have to go coach somebody at 7. And then I got to record a podcast with Bo tonight at like fucking 9:30. Just the way it goes. And I have to edit it because I have to drop it tomorrow morning. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Alrighty, gang, I'm going to hop off. Getting a little tired and chat slowing down a little bit, but I will try to hop on tomorrow. Guys, go watch my latest video. I'm going to drop the link real quick. Here's the latest video about Topuria on Joe Rogan's podcast. Go run that up for me, boyos. All right? I will see you guys most likely tomorrow. I'll probably stream tomorrow, so much appreciate. I'll see you guys later. Bang, bang.